Welcome, Owl fans, to the Eagle Bank Bowl Special. I'm Dan Sermon. It's been 30 years since the Temple Owls last saw themselves playing in a bowl game, and over the next 15 minutes or so, we'll break down just about every high and low in this game, not to mention the hoopla that surrounded the game back on December 29th. And we'll take a look back at the record-setting season that was, but first, it's game time against a Pac-10 power in UCLA. Al Golden and the Owls came into the Eagle Bank Bowl with 9 wins on the year, which was the most since the 1979 team had 10. That 79 team ended up beating Cal at the Garden State Bowl, which was, of course, the last time Temple found itself playing in a meaningful December game. The Owls had to be optimistic in this game with Bernard Pierce back in the lineup. Now, if you remember, Pierce sat out in the November loss to Ohio with that bad shoulder. For UCLA, they were happy to be making the trip to D.C. The Bruins got the bowl invitation only after Army stumbled in its season finale against Navy. So it's off to our nation's capital. The Owls would come out of the gates looking to take an early lead, and Vaughn Charlton was making his first start since October 31st, and he would do just that. On Temple's first drive, Charlton with a fake handoff tries to go deep to James Nixon, and look at Nixon. He makes a tremendous catch, putting the Owls on UCLA's 26-yard line. 3 plays later, Charlton again tries to find his tight end this time, hits Steve Maneri, who muscles his way into the end zone for the 26-yard touchdown, giving the Owls a 7-0 lead. Charlton would throw for 159 yards on the night. Temple's defense would shut down the Bruins on their first possession, and then it was time for the freshman to show why he was one of the best in the country, as Pierce takes the handoff and runs up the middle and crosses midfield before being taken down by not one Bruin, but what looks to be 7 or 8 of them. Temple would not capitalize on the big play and would be forced to punt. Jake Brownells punts this one to the 40 yards to the Bruins' 7-yard line, and Terrence Austin picks up the bouncer and starts up near the sideline and cuts up to the middle of the field, and he would go untouched past midfield before being taken down by Elijah Joseph at the 46. On the very next play, Kevin Prince, the quarterback for UCLA, would look to go deep to Nelson Rosario, who bobbles it but stays with it and heads into the end zone for the 46-yard score. Rosario would finish the day with 6 yards receiving. Al Golden would try and find answers for the team in the second. Charlton finds Evan Rodriguez right here. The tight end gets the 9-yard reception. 4 plays later, Pierce tries to run this one again, goes up the middle to the 50-yard line for the 13-yard carry, but would suffer a shoulder injury, but he would stay in the first half, but not play in the second. Golden would use the freshman running back Matt Brown as he takes off on the very next play for a 13-yard gain. On 3rd and 5, Charlton steps back and rifles it right here to the wideout Delano Green for the 21-yard reception. And it would set up the MAC Freshman of the Year, Bernard Pierce, as he makes a few cuts right here. Whoop, and whoop. Yeah, as he heads straight into the end zone for his 16th touchdown of the season, which sets a school record. The Owls go back up a touchdown, 14-7. After an interception by Marquise Liverpool, the Owls were looking to strike again, but this time they used the two-headed monster. Pierce would run up the gut for 5 yards, but that would be his last carry of the game. Then Vaughn Charlton hands it off to Matt Brown, who would take over, and he does that as he finds a hole and takes the 2-yard carry to give Temple a 21-7 lead. UCLA would try to cut the lead to 11 before half as Kai Forbeth kicks the 40-yard field goal to cut the score to 21-10 at halftime. Coming out of the locker room at half, the Bruins would look to make this somewhat of a game. Prince would start the comeback on the first possession, with Terrence Austin making the 9-yard catch before being tackled by Marquise Liverpool. And on 4th and 1, Prince would roll to the near side, before hitting Austin on the slant, who turns on the Jets and heads up towards the sideline and goes in for the easy 32-yard touchdown, cutting the Owls' lead to 4. Temple looks to extend the lead right back as Charlton looks to keep it himself, and oh, where did he go? He confused everybody on the defensive side, and he runs for a 21-yard gain as he runs out of bounds. Then it was the Matt Brown show. The little 5'5" running back takes the handoff and heads up near side, and he would head up the middle for the 29-yard run before being tackled by Corey Bosworth. And on 3rd and 2, Matt Brown, again being used a lot in this game, takes the pitch and tries to go what seems to be a first down, but the play went under review, and this was a crucial point in the game, and the field and the referee ruled it as 4th down. Coach Golden not happy with the outcome, and so the Owls elect to go for it on 4th instead of settling for the field goal, and Brown would get stuffed at the line by the UCLA Bruins defense, and that would be a turnover on downs. After the Bruins went 4 and out, Charlton fakes the handoff and looks deep for Michael Campbell, but it's picked off right here by Raheem Moore. But the Owls still lead the ball game 21-17 after 3. Now in the 4th, Prince finds Shane Moline for a 26-yard catch, setting up Forbes' 42-yard field goal, which makes it a 1-point game. With 7 minutes left in the game, Vaughn Charlton gets sacked right here for a loss of 7 by Bosworth and throws it away, which results in an intentional grounding. And on 3rd and 20, the Owls and Charlton look to make a quick pass, but instead it's intercepted by Akeem Ayers, who takes it in for the 2-yard touchdown, and the Bruins lead for the first time 26-21 with 6 minutes left to go. UCLA will elect to go for it for the 2 points, and he hits Nelson Rosario to make the lead 8. And after a Temple punt ended up in the end zone, the Bruins would lead 30-21, and that would be the end of a terrific season for the Owls as the UCLA Bruins go on to beat the Temple Owls in the Eagle Bank Bowl. The Owls follow up their 9-game win streak with 2 losses to the end of the season, the game at Ohio and the Eagle Bank Bowl. The Owls had more first downs and a better time of possession than the Bruins, but that final Temple interception turned out to be a huge difference. With Pierce knocked out towards the end of the half, Matt Brown got a good amount of work. He rushed 20 times for 89 yards and that 1 score. It's a tough end for the senior class that has a lot to be proud of in turning this football program around.
Well, number one, they're all going to graduate, which is great, and that's the first time in a long time. So they've learned a lot. They've provided us leadership. They've learned how to be tough and how to eliminate excuses. So they've changed the culture. They took what was ours and made it theirs, and in the end, that's empowerment. That's what we're trying to do here in our program.
It's definitely come a long way. We been through a lot together, been through 1-win seasons, 4-win, and then we just built up, and to end it the way we did this season, you know, we wish we could have won this game, but at the end of the day, we did have a successful season, and that came from a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. So.
Vaughn Charlton's numbers weren't overly impressive, throwing for 159 yards with 1 touchdown and those 2 interceptions. Of course, the 4th quarter interception was a big blow, which gave the Bruins the lead for good. It's been an interesting year at the quarterback position for Temple. Charlton played the first 8 games of the season, and he was passed over in favor of Chester Stewart for most of the final 4 games of the regular season. But after watching from the sidelines for most of November, he got the call again in December.
For me personally, I kind of just took not playing last couple games as just really found out what I had to improve on and looked at my film from the season and tried to fix my mistakes and put a good month of practice together and found out that week that I was going to get a chance to play.